welcome to Craft Addict Kate. It's Carla. It's the last day of January 2022, and I have some stats for you, some updates for you, and some whips for you. So let's start off with my handy dandy notebook because I did take notes. I want to say first, welcome to everybody that's new to the channel. I appreciate you coming in, checking me out, and seeing what all is up. My lighting, you know what? No, I'm going to apologize. It's dark outside. Today was actually not -1 degrees. It's very cold in Pennsylvania. A lot happening, a lot going on. So, had my anniversary this past weekend, 25 years. Married to this guy. I'm going to keep him. I don't want to train another, so we'll keep him. So my total projects. Let's talk about whips. Did I say welcome to the channel? I feel like I just got home from work, just finished dinner. By the way, started HelloFresh, which we had some chicken parmesan tonight. It was delish. So, really enjoying it. Actually, we've only gotten 2 boxes so far, but so far every meal we've had has been a pretty good hit. So I'm liking it, and I'm getting some recipe ideas, and I got the 2 servings because Samantha's always gone to work. And tonight, another night, she's gone to work. So, let's talk about, this is a channel about XrossStitch, and I'm so happy you came to join me. There is so much going on. We've had No New Starts, Leg 1 travel event kicked off at the beginning of the month. People have been traveling. We just, over the weekend, opened up Leg 2, and people are starting on their way to the attic, and it's, from what I'm seeing from going through the travel threads of people in their events, there's a lot of finishes happening, there's a lot of stitches happening, and people are having fun, they're role playing, and we're having a great time. If you are interested in what this event is all about, it is No New Starts 2022 Facebook group, and it is a closed group right now, and this is the annual or yearly event that we decided to do this year, and it is the No New Starts 2022 yearly. It's a travel event that we are traveling across the United States and visiting local needlework shops. And these are shops that I've been researching, and hopefully they're still in business, but we really focused in on brick and mortar shops and some sightseeing and some camping and things along the way. And, things pop up, and it's been a lot of fun. So, unfortunately, it's a closed group as well at this point in time. It was specifically for the No New Starts group. We tried to get everybody on board, but we have over 200 members doing the travel, and I think we're over 300 members that are in the No New Starts group. So that's phenomenal. However, if you are interested in just following along and hearing what we're doing, if you check out Shady, Treez, Stitches, she is a floss tuber. Her name is Lisa Lane. She does a lot of the challenge homework videos. She also does a monthly video with some guests from, I'm one of the repeat people that are usually on there. So is Lori from Daily 30, which is another challenge group. And we get Nikki from the pop culture group. So there's lots of us that post with her or do videos with her. And she posts those to her channel. So if you want to see those and kind of play along where you can, certainly subscribe to her channel. And that is Lisa at Shady, Treez, Stitches. And I will put her link in the description box below as well. I feel like my hands are talking to you. I'm trying not to use my hands so much. But that's where you can find a lot of the information. When we did our monthly wrap up, we wrapped up about the Leg 1 event and what things were going on and what we anticipate with Leg 2, because there was a lot of things happening. We had people going down many different pathways. It's a very flexible event, so it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully, if it piques your interest as you follow with us this year and it's something you're interested in, maybe we'll see you in the No New Starts 2023 group whenever that opens up at the end of the year. And you can join in for whatever kind of craziness we come up with for next year. So, that's about that. I want to do a couple of things. So my monthly wrap up, let's talk about it. So January, we kicked off No New Starts 2022 with a bang. WIPGO numbers were called. I worked on a total of 9 projects. I had 8 projects called on WIPGO, and I had an extra project. I should have had 2 extra projects, but one didn't get touched. I had an extra project that was for Daily 30 Animal Hunt. So I ended up working on 9 projects. I finished 1, and I have done a total for the month of 15,344 stitches for the month. There was 3 days in December, or I'm sorry, 3 days in January, including today, that I did not stitch because of various reasons. But for the most part, I carve out time every day to stitch. Even if it's 100 stitches here, 200 stitches there, it all adds up. And then on the weekends are usually my big stitch times. And that's usually whenever I can really put out some 1,000 or 2,000 stitch days. But that's on the weekends. During the week, I work full time. So, you know, I have to work to pay for all of my hobbies, because I got a bunch of them. As you can see my diamond painting behind us. I did finish 6 out of 8 of my WIPGOs, which I'm happy with. A couple of projects I worked on were not called on WIPGO yet, so when they do get called, I'm already got a jump start to get my goal met for the WIPGO board. So I'm okay. I feel good with where I'm at. Out of the WIPGO 8 numbers that were called, only 3 of them were old projects. When I say old, it means I started them before the December 13th start-a-thon that happened between December 13th and December 31st. So the rest of them were fairly new projects. So I want to go through and show those to you today and tell you what I did with each of them. I'm going to try and insert a picture of where I started in 2021, where I ended in 2021, and then where I am at the end of January, because a lot of these projects will probably go away until either I run out of WIPGO and I spin a wheel and it pops up, but they'll probably go away until next year. So that's kind of sad, kind of struggling with that a little bit, but I also know that I've got 80 projects that I want to get some attention to, and I think I can get some potential good finishes this year if I do that. So, all right, so let's start off with, I usually talk about, well, we'll do the whips first. So let's start with my finish, because it's right here. So my finish is Change in Latitude, and it is by Lindy Stitches, and it is called Change in Latitude, and the pattern I am doing as one of the travel giveaways in our Lucky Dip album. So I've already put the pattern in there for anybody that was in that, that's interested in that. And I put this on a piece of scrap 28 count. I think this might be ale. It may be ale, I'm not sure, but it was just a scrap piece and it fit. And I'm looking around. Don't tell Gary. So I started this December of this past year. I don't remember exactly what day. I have it written down, but that's not what I have in front of me. I have my monthly total, so you're going to get my monthly totals. And this is how I ended. So, Change in Latitude would change my attitude. And I opted to do the smaller letters in the blue and the red that I used for the water and for his shorts. It was all done in gray, and it just seemed blah to me. So there he is in all his glory, kicking up the sand. I will probably finish this. Who are we kidding? You don't see it, but over here's all my finishes hanging on like dress racks. So, but it's a finish. First one for January 2022. This is my first finish of the year, and I think it turned out just fine. So I may do it into a pillow, or I might do a white frame with it. Maybe put some seashells or something on it. I don't know. It's got potential to do something when my creative juices start flowing. So there is that. Put that up there. Let's see. I'm just going to start here. The next one up is our Heritage Sampler. And on the Heritage Sampler, I have 2,034 stitches done. And you bear with me, I think I do need to have this open so I can tell you a little bit more about it. The Heritage Sampler is by Plum Street Samplers. It is 168 stitches by 185 stitches. I am doing it on a 30 count lamb's wool that I find to be very stiff. But this was a new start. I started this December 19th of 2021. So you're just going to see where I was, and this is where I am now. You're getting kind of a glare from that light. And there you go. So there's an eagle here. So really it is a nice stitch. Not a fan of the fabric, but it looks nice on the fabric. So I'm going to keep going with the fabric. So that would be Heritage Sampler. And let's see. Since I pulled the book out, I might as well tell you. Change in Latitude, I started December 21st of 2021. And I finished it January 29th of 2022. So kudos to me. So what I'll do is I started using these sheets I made, and it's got the days, whoop, boy that light is bright in it. It's got the days that I stitched on it and the total stitch count, and what I'll do is on the back I will put a photo, and this will go into my archived book for the keeping track of my whips, like my finishes. All right. Let's see, next up, I'm just going to pull them randomly, no particular order. This is Folk Witch. This was one of my Whip Go calls. I started this was my freebie start last year, as I dig this out. This is a Gecko Rouge pattern. Look at that, came right, nope, that's not it. It's a Gecko Rouge pattern. It comes as a full kit, and she looks like this. Sorry. Boy, that light. I'm sorry. There's a glare. She looks like this. If you haven't seen her before. And I have completed on her. She will come back out, because the reason why she was pulled is because I had a random spin that came up on my Whip Go board for 500 stitches. And this is what I spun. So she will come back out at some point this year. Because my Whip Go, I believe she's a 1100 stitch goal. And that does not count the already 500 stitches I put in. So you can see the stars. I've started kind of stair stepping a little bit. Not a whole lot to look at, but a stitch counts. Every stitch counts. So I'm just kind of setting these over off to the side since I don't have my co-worker here. Okay, next up is Cross Stitch Nation. Cross Stitch Nation is a sal that I am doing kind of in an odd way. Here's my flosses. I have the called for flosses. The reason Cross Stitch Nation that I'm doing in an odd way is because there's Hannah Dowling, Grace Note Stitchers, both Corinne and Colleen. I think Bobby's in this. I think Crystal Rowe, all of these people have Floss 2 channels as well. And I know we all try and remember all of them. I'm not sure if Janet Jabber's in this one or not. But basically, this is what happens. Is Corinne on her channel, Grace Note Stitchers, she spins a wheel every other month. We're alternating. So every other month she spins a wheel. And the wheel has all of our names on it that are participating. And so what happens when our name comes up is we get to pick which character on the pattern, which I will insert a picture, which character on the pattern we want to be. And then that person gets to pick what color they want their outfit to be. So I came up first, and I'm probably the only one that doesn't have my character stitched yet. However, if you have seen this, you will know this is I belong to the Cross Stitch Nation, so I was working across, and I picked the character that's right down here. She's got a crown and a needle, and I said purple is my color. So I had to build across, and then I was going to start down, and I needed brown for one of my challenges, so I didn't get back to it. But she is on one of my Whip Goes that was called. So I still have a few stitches to do to meet my Whip Go goal, which will definitely be met. So right now, Cross Stitch Nation has 1,015 stitches, and I believe this is on my board that needed 2,200 stitches. So I will get that done. And this is on, I think, well, why am I trying to remember when Carla has her book right in front of her and she could just look and tell you if she filled out her paperwork correctly. Let's see. How good was she at filling out her paperwork? I wanted to try it this way, but maybe this isn't the most efficient way. Especially when everything's kind of mixed, because I start getting ready for February and I start pulling out papers. Cross Stitch Nation. Nope, I didn't write down the fabric. I do believe that this is a Grace Notes fabric though. And I think it's 25 count. I'm pretty sure it is. And I did it over 2. It might be a 28 count. I will have to look and tell you. Because I know I have it written down someplace. Usually I have the little paper in here with my floss and everything. Oh, and guess what? I do. Look at that. And it says Cross Stitch Nation South. And I didn't write down the fabric. It is, oh, because it's the other piece that's in here. So Vain by Fortnite Fabrics. It's a 32 count. Listen to me. 32 count called So Vain by Fortnite Fabrics. So that is the fabric. Oh, sorry. Did I put it on? Here I am flipping you the pattern. It's bad. Don't do that, Carla. And it is on a PVC pipe because I ran out of Q-snaps. And this has worked very well. I just tighten it up when I'm ready to stitch on it, and I loosen it in between. So, and Daily 30 has had a prompt each week about doing 300 stitches on an official hashtag South. And this has been the piece that I've used for most of those when I've been able to. Okay. I'm getting a little top heavy, so let's pull out the other one that's up on top. Okay. Oh. Hold, please. If I was cool like Chris, I would make this really cool genie sound and twitch my head and flip my hair and disappear and then come back in a big poof. But I'm not cool like Chris Cross Stitch, and I don't have that capability. But I wanted to show you, we are stitching on Gnome of the Month Sal, and I picked June. You can see there's a nice rainbow and a nice pretty gnome. And I have been stitching on this on my 25 count fabric by Grace Notes Fabrics. This I definitely know is a Grace Notes Fabrics. In my Gnome of the Month, I have only done 1,099 stitches since starting. You're going to see the picture of where I was when I started the year. And then you're going to see this picture because this was one of my new starts at the end of December. It is a piece of Grace Notes Fabrics. It's called Joy to the World, and it is a 25 count Lugana. And I'm actually have 2 projects going on this fabric, and it's quite interesting how I did it because on this end, whoop, you can see my, I know, I got straggly threads, but that's okay. They'll get trimmed as this is practically a full coverage, you guys. So hopefully you can see that. So there's my gnome start, and you can see his hat. You can see it, right? Okay. Then over here, what you don't see is another project that's wrapped up in here, because that project goes this way on the fabric. So I got one going this way and one going this way. I was going to cut this apart, but I wanted to make sure that I have enough this way and not lose. I'll probably just cut it. I just haven't gotten to it. All right. So that was my Gnome of the Month. The Gnome of the Month you will see again because it is my Daily 30 monthly piece. So that will stay out and play for some more time. Let's see. We have here Hello Spring. This is on my roller frame, and I have my Garon wrap around it, and I also have my Garon Graham guards I can see on here. So on this roller frame, and look at how pretty. Have the girls on the inside. We have Heart of Spring, and Heart of Spring was a start. Oh, I will show you in the pictures. However, this is as far as we've gotten. Let's see, here we go. kind of do not have my light set up well, I can tell. We'll work on that because it's glaring me out. But you can see, if I come back here, that's where we've got, and this is going to go away. I did meet my whip go goals on this, so it is done. So this one will go away unless it gets a random spin on the random wheel. All right, next we have Anzac. Anzac is on, this is Anzac. It's a long dog sampler, and I have it on a 28 count, I believe it's 28 count, piece from Paddock Lane Designs that she calls her Neapolitan. It's 3 different colors. It's on my Q-snap. And on Anzac, I have done for the month 1,020 stitches. This goes clear over to here. Had a little bit of a frog thing going on, happened over here, but you can see, like, we're making progress. We're making progress. This you will see again. This is also one of my Daily 30 Animal Hunt pieces. You had to select 3 pieces. This is one of the 3. My gnome is the second one of the 3, and I am stitching this with DMC 3808, if you were curious. But I love stitching on it. The fabric's fantastic to stitch on. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm glad I picked that for one of my 3. The third of my Daily 30 pieces I will show you, because this was a focus piece for me. And this is Rosie the Riveter. This was a new start as well. This was for my daughter that is overseas currently. Rosie the Riveter. This is a Gecko Rouge pattern. And I'm trying to move stuff out of the way so you can see. I've done a lot on this one. Rosie Riveter was a whip go call for January. And I met my whip go goal, which was 2,200 stitches. And I actually did 2,631 stitches on her. So it's not a big piece, as you can tell, but that is where I've gotten on Rosie the Riveter. And I know that the light's kind of washing this stuff out. I apologize for that, because, and this has got my grime guard, and it's in my bag for my Wendelhofen. I do like stitching on this project. So I didn't at first. You can see I kind of ran out of the bobbies, and I started using some floss drops that I had to just kind of contain the extra flosses as I was working down. So Rosie the Riveter will be seen every month for at least a while, because I had told my daughter, I said I would try to get it done before she got back from being deployed. I don't think it's going to get done. I think I've told us in here it's probably not going to get done, but I do want to make some good progress on it. So she will come out each month. The next project, and my last one that I worked on, that I have over here, and I think that's all of them, is a walk through the Highlands. Now this one was a start, then it was a restart, and I think I restarted another time, but I think my official final restart date was November 22nd, 2020. So I'm going to put a picture in of where it was at the beginning of 2021, where it was at the end of 2021, and where we are today. You will see. The reason I want to do it that way is because I didn't do a you know, when you do all your whips, I didn't do a whip parade this year. I was going to, and I thought, you know what, I have 81 whips. I got to start all the things, and I don't know that you guys would want to watch 81 whips, so I did not do a whip parade, but I am going to show you the previous year as I go through and show you where we're currently at. So this is on my Omnic frame, and I believe my scroll rod covers came from Caitlin from Madam Ice. She has a shop on Etsy, and I got those from her. And Gina, I gotta tell you, still have not made it to the girl's hair, but we are getting there. So walk through the Highlands got the most stitches out of any of my projects for the month of January. I thought that I had hit my 5,000 stitch goal but I didn't write, either I didn't write something down or I subtracted wrong. So I actually put in 3,693 stitches with this. I will probably reserve the right to pull this out to get to the 5,000 for the full coverage fanatics. So I may pull it out again if I have a finish somewhere. This is as far as I am currently. Not much to look at, right? Well, hopefully you'll have more as time goes on. Okay, and that was wrapped up in my Garon wraps. So I really like these. If anybody has tried them and they like them, or if you don't like them, and it's on my Omnic frame. I get asked about the Omnic frame a lot. Well, let me take this back off. The reason why I like the Omnic frame, this is one of the smaller sizes, but you can loosen here by unscrewing the plastic, and it loosens your tension. So see how loose that is? You have a lot of loose tension. Then you can also tighten it up the same way. You just go the other way and tighten it up, and you can make this drum tight. Now, see? I gotta say, for me, I really like this. This is probably the size that I would put on my Lowry stand if I needed to, but these frames are a little bit heavy for the Lowry stand. They're quality, they're high stand, they're a little expensive, but they're a little heavy for the Lowry stand. It can be done, just it may be a little top heavy. Like I think I had 20-pound weight on my Lowry base when I was using it to hold these. I have since gotten a Dubco frame floor stand, which I really like, and if I can find a photo, I'll put a photo in here of what my Dubco stand is like, and where you can rest this on top. It's out of Russia, and if I need to flip it over, I can flip it over. So it is out of Russia. If you look up Dubco, D-U-B-K-O, they have lap stands as well as floor stands. Again, it's coming from Russia. I believe they're made to order, and a little on the pricier side, but I spend a lot of time in my stitchy spots. So, you know, we were talking about it on Zoom. You know, the money people spend to go to the bar, or for a gym membership, or, you know, for just a movie and popcorn, it adds up. And so, you know, how much did I spend on this project, and how many years of enjoyment will I get from this one project stitching on it? Stitchers get me. My husband might not, but the stitchers in the world will get me. And this is what that looks like. You can tell it's one of my earlier projects because I had it on bobbins when I bobbinated. I now primarily work out of a master set that I just pull till my thread's gone, then I look around and see if I can find a replacement. So, and that empties the whip bin for January. That wasn't too bad, right? 28 minutes, did a lot of talking, had a lot of stitches. Hopefully I told you everything I was supposed to tell you. And if I didn't, well, there's always next month. I do have some haul. So I want to tell you about haul. This came, I ordered it on Etsy. Let me look. Maggie Hart sent it. I don't remember the name of the shop. I will try and look below. But I needed long scroll rods for my my whip for the Disney World map, because it's huge, and I did not have any super big scroll rods, so scroll rod covers. So I ordered a set from her, and it did not take long for it to arrive. But I've had it for a while, and that's why I forgot who sent it to me, because I have had it for a while and just haven't shown it on video because I got it after Christmas. So, crinkles. Sorry, not sorry. I kind of like the crinkles sometimes. But if you're wearing headsets, you probably don't like the crinkles, so I apologize. I also got a wonderful package from my friends at Colleen and Corinne at Grace Knit Fabrics and the family. And they wrap everything up. So this is my, first of all, got my sticker. Love it. Love it. I always get excited. I don't know if I get more excited over the stickers or the fabric, to be honest with you. Love it. got my thank yous, and I've got my fabric of the month. I get both neutral and I get their color fabric. Their neutral for this month is Pistachio Frappe, and it's a 25 count. I would say there, that's true to color. It's kind of a light, maybe an undertone of green, but more of a tan. I think more of tan than green. But I could see Pistachio Frappe in there for sure. All right, and the other fabric from Grace Knows Fabric, and I got 25 count because that's what I stitch all my full coverage pieces on. And I was at a retreat where a friend at the retreat was stitching her Shady on dyed fabric, and I've always been told, oh, that's such a waste of hand dyed fabric because you know you're going to stitch a full coverage, you're not even going to see the fabric. And so I asked her why she was doing that, and I don't know if she watches my videos or not, but I'm sure if she does, she knows who I'm talking about. And she said, I'm looking at this pattern for years. I am stitching on this pattern for years. Why would I want to look at plain white grids or plain white fabric just because it's going to be covered if I can look at something pretty while I'm stitching it? It made perfectly good sense to me. So I started looking for 25 count, and I found Grace Notes does have it. So I joined up. So I'm building my stash. I don't know that I'm going to have a lot of things on 25 count, but all of my gnomes of the month are going to go on 25 count. I don't know if I'll put a full coverage, but I'm going to put something on these 25 counts because, you know, some things just call for it. The other one that I got is, I think it's Vivace. Vivace, V-I-V-A-C-E. This is their color fabric of the month. And this definitely has green, as you can tell. It's not a Gary green, but boy, look at the modeling. It's so pretty. Their fabric is so nice. It's just nice. It's nice to stitch with. I've really enjoyed working on it. So if you're debating or thinking about joining a Fabric of the Month club, check them out. They're on Facebook, Grace Notes Fabrics. And she also has a YouTube channel, Grace Notes Stitches, with her and her daughter. It's been primarily her because her daughter, just like Samantha, has aged up and are moving on doing their own things. So we don't get to see them much now because that's where they're at. They don't get to, sometimes they're on the videos, but not often. All right, and I think that is all the haul. I've gotten some things in that people have donated for our travel event, or the No New Starts event, and I've posted that to those groups. I'm looking for my notes. Oh, so this coming week is the Steel City Stitchers first stitching retreat that they're having local to me. So I'm really excited. I'm going to get to meet Corinne and Colleen and Hannah, who are coming in town, as well as some friends from Fun Day Stitchers that are coming into town. I'm hoping I can get down to meet with them. They're about a half hour from where I live, so if the weather cooperates, I'm really hoping to get to go down and have a dinner or something with them when they have a break in between their retreat. I did not get into the retreat. I was way down on the list because it opened when I was at work and I was in a meeting and could not sign up. So I did not get to make it in. Maybe I'll make it into the next one. But I do want to give a special shout out, and I saved it for the end because I really thought that you all needed to hear this. So if you're still with me, thank you. But I want to give a shout out to a new channel. New as in she's had 5 floss tubes that I could see up. Her name is Rustic Threads Stitching, and she posted this week a very novel idea that I thought was phenomenal. And if I wasn't in No New Starts, I would absolutely jump on board. It's a hashtag, and I'll put it here if I can. It's hashtag Stitch Kit Pass. So this is the premise. You stitch your ornament size, whatever, and then you kit that up and you ask a friend, would they stitch it? If they would, you pass them your fabric, your kit, kit it up, pass it along to them so that they can stitch it, and then they can also stitch it, kit it up, and pass it on to their friends and their friends and their friends. So it's kind of like I don't want to say pass the stash with accountability, but it is kind of like a pass the stash with accountability. I love the idea. She had stitched a small house and really liked it and thought, boy, it'd be really nice to stitch that again. And then came up with this idea to stitch, kit, and pass along to somebody else to stitch it up on their fabric, on whatever they chose. And maybe that person gives it to them, maybe it gives it to somebody else. But it takes that pattern and gives it a new regenerated life other than getting buried in the stacks that, you know, you may not visit it again. And I thought that was a great idea. Because how many of us have patterns that we haven't kitted up, but we want to stitch one day? So if somebody and your friend said, hey, I have this pattern, I just stitched it. I'm going to kit it up and send it to you if you'll stitch it. How nice would that be to arrive ready to go? So let's talk about that. How nice it is to get something arrived and ready to go. So, check her out, by the way. She's fairly new. Like I said, 5 floss tubes. I don't even know what number I'm on anymore. I quit counting. So, let's see. Getting something new in the mail. I got something in the mail. And I had actually forgotten. And I was like, who's this person? I wasn't expecting anything. Well, I'm in a round robin. And I sent mine out today, Crystal. Janet Jabber is part of the round robin. I believe this is Janet's, and it's Dreaming of Sal, and hers is Dreaming of Sunflowers. Mine was Dreaming of Tulips. So I did I proved this with no new starts prior to us doing this, but because there's a couple of us in the group that are doing this. Anyways, I stitched my stitches to get my 200, and I stitched my tulip, and then I passed my fabric and my floss and my pattern on to Crystal Rowe, who will stitch her design, my tulip, but with her stitches, and she'll put her name if she wants to, whatever she wants to do. And I got Janet's, and Janet is doing Dreaming of Sunflowers. So Janet's came this week, and she had sent her very cool project cards. See, very cool project cards. She also sent me a ring of all of her beautiful floss on floss drops. Look at those colors. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, so see all those pretty colors? All right. And she sent me a card. There's a card that tells me what to do. It says, have fun. That's my directions. She did make a working copy of the pattern. Some of the girls that are in this round robin, Sal wants us to sign in their actual pattern. I'm a little nervous about that, but they want us to sign it. I didn't send my pattern, my real pattern, because I may want to give away my real pattern, and I didn't want everybody signing it, but I did something different. What I did was I took a card, like a blank card, along with another card that I wrote down, hey everybody, but I did a blank card that I want everybody that's in this round robin to kind of leave me a message and sign it, because I want to put this in an envelope on the back of my finished piece of everybody that contributed to the actual piece. And I thought that was a cool way to memorialize the friends that put some stitches in it. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so Janet sent me hers, and this is where she started. So this is Janet's, and so I got to figure out, so if I hold this up, Janet started right here in the middle. So I got to kind of count off of that and figure out where I'm going. So I will, and this, by the way, was called On My Whip Go for February. So it's the Dreaming of Sal. So I'm going to have to do an emblem and figure out which one I'm going to do. So we'll see. Do I go down? Do I go up? Left? Right? So many options Janet gave me. When I did mine, I started up in the corner. Good luck, Crystal. Just go wherever you want. So we're going to see how I do. Hopefully you'll see some good progress. Hopefully I didn't spend the whole time looking the wrong direction on this video. And, wow, really pretty colors. I'm looking forward to this, getting to stitch on this. So, put everything back in here. We'll see how that goes. And I think that was everything on my list. So I wanted to tell everybody to, it's January 31st. Have a wonderful stitching week, stitching month. We'll see you on my next update. Who knows when that will be. I will at least try to do a monthly wrap up. But if I have time in between, I certainly will hop on and say hello. Take care, everybody. Happy stitching. Bye-bye.